All right, this week's question of the week is my thoughts on McDojos and our schools in the world promoting people in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu too fast. I'm al-Aziz, the owner and head instructor of Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu, here to tackle this week's question of the week. So, got a question, and it was just asking, do I think people are promoting too fast in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu nowadays? And I thought it was an interesting question on my thoughts on the speed of promotions and the term McDojo. So my main answer to all this is there's a lot of envy in the world, and y'all shouldn't be so envious, and you should try to be happy for people. Like when I hear people call something a McDojo, it almost always is somebody punching up at a bigger association that maybe has schools all throughout the country or the world, and their business is doing good. And like for me, I think we should all be happy for them. It's like, man, I'm glad you're growing. I'm glad you're doing well. And, don't be hating on them. So anytime I hear somebody call another school a McDojo, it's almost always just envy. So don't get caught up in the envy. As far as speed of promotions at different schools, I don't know what people do at other schools. I'm not there for their classes. I'm not there for their training. I don't see the intensity of their training, So I don't know, if they're promoting too fast. They're legit black belts. I take them for their word that, hey, this person has fulfilled the requirements of their association, and they're ready to be a black belt or a brown belt or a purple belt or a blue belt or get stripes or whatever it is. I'm happy for them. And anytime I see somebody promote, I make a comment. I'm like, hey, congratulations, well-deserved promotion. Because to my knowledge, it's a well-deserved promotion because I'm not in their school training. And almost always, at least in my social media feed, I find the people in the jiu-jitsu community who are calling other schools McDojos or are saying, these schools are promoting too fast. They're almost always from associations that don't compete and don't believe in cross-training with others. They'll be from an association, there'll be some, famous figure that founded the association. And, everybody in the association, they'll point, to that figure's accomplishments. But then, they don't believe in cross-training because they don't want anybody to know their secrets. And then they don't, they rarely compete, and if they do compete, nobody in their association is winning the adult, black belt world championship in the IBJJF, or, the adult black belt or even brown belt, or purple belt world championship in the Pan Ams. And so if you don't really compete and you don't cross-train with other associations, how would you possibly know whether these other associations are promoting too fast or not? You don't know. You're not there. So I don't know. I don't even tell people here in San Antonio that my school, Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu, is the best school in San Antonio. I'll tell you, I'll give you my best effort. That I know my instructors here are going to give you their best effort. But there's 25 Brazilian Jiu Jitsu schools, give or take a few, here in San Antonio. And there's some phenomenal instructors. There's some phenomenal associations in town. I don't train there, so I don't know what they're doing. But, I see them in competitions. I've known a lot of these instructors for years. I know they're good people. I know they got phenomenal jiu-jitsu. And so I don't tell people, my school is the best in San Antonio, because I don't know for sure. I just know I give it my best. But are we the best? That's very subjective. And if you haven't trained at all the schools, you really don't know. You give it your best. That's what you can do. So I don't tell people I'm the best in San Antonio or the best in Texas or the best in the nation, because you don't know. You just give it your best, do the best you can. If other schools get more affiliates and they grow more locations, I'm happy for them. If their students are progressing, like I said, man, if I see somebody gets promoted, I make a comment on their social media like, hey, congratulations, well deserved. So I'm happy for people that expand their business. I'm happy for people, that have, they get promoted, like, don't be envious. Because the only schools I can really speak for, like I can speak on what goes on here at Semper Fortis, and I could speak for what goes on in my instructor's school, Gracie Jiu Jitsu in Jacksonville, Florida, because I know Luis and Pedro are teaching every day and have very strict, stringent promotion requirements. They train really hard. They're phenomenal teachers. So, I can say, hey, I know every promotion out of there is absolutely legit. I know their growth is absolutely legit. I know what we do is absolutely legit. But what everybody else does, I don't know. So I don't get into this whole name calling or trying to pass judgment like, oh, you're promoting too fast, because I don't know. All right, that's the answer to this week's question of the week. Feel free to comment below if you agree with me, disagree with me, or just your basic insights of, what you have found in your jiu-jitsu journey. Love to hear it. Got a question for next week? Fire below, and I'll give you my best answer. All right, ciao.